Rasslin, the fortunate sons of flipping this. Catch a pilot newsletter, cause they're ubiquitous. Wanna hang with these studs? Better pack a bunch of straw. Or catch a spirit Superman punch for Roman. Lady Swoop, get these hands for fortune. Hollywood stars destroyed 40 Morgan. Kramer is a pro in the scripts. Showing the gifts when I'm blowing the gift. You catch a moment of twist. Keep these basket of glory. Stress and falter. With 5 fingers cross your chest like Walter. Gibraltar status. Building when you still shook. Best in the world. Straight edge like Phil Brooks. With titles with the case for money in the bank. Get the #1 container with no honey in the tank. Now Liz, Jerry, or what the usual toes. Asking players with stairs to repair their pheromones. Keep the Periscope botanic. Fools one another.
Greetings, buzz humans, smarks, marks, hipsters, trolls, bros, wrestlebays, and the rest of the relevant wrestling family. Buzz humans, it's me, your host and humble narrator for this evening's main event, the voice of relevant Rasslin Productions. This is Joe Fortune, and here we are for episode 14 of, that's right, the most relevant and buzzworthy podcast in all of professional and independent wrestling. This is, that's right, ready for it, False Finish Productions presents Relevant Wrestling Weekly, episode 14. Yeah, that's right, Buzz Humans. We got some changes going on around here. As you can hear, first off in the background, brand new theme song done by our main man, John Kramer, aka Jay Spidey, aka Jamel Wright. Thank you, my main man, for hooking it up. You guys will be able to find the link for this relevant rap in our zine coming up in issue 3 of the Relevant Rag. You'll be able to find a download code in there for this if you are on the mailing list for the zine, or if you want to get on the mailing list for the zine, make sure to hit us up, put you on there. You can take the John Kramer challenge and you can try to do your little shiggy dance or whatever the hell they call it, your little kiki dance to our song, and you can do it in full gimmick, and then you can post the video on Twitter, and you can @ Relevant Wrestling, and you can hashtag it the John Kramer challenge, and we can get that going. But anyway, Buzz Humans, let's get back to doing business. Like I said, this is episode 14 of yet again the newly named False Finish Productions presents Relevant Wrestling Weekly. Why the name change again? I'm sure those of you that are listening, the millions and millions of you out there riding the buzzwaves with us, are probably wondering why the name change again. Well, we've been working with False Finish Productions recently. If you've been paying attention to things around here, I've been a guest host on Spot Monkey Radio a couple times over the last month or 2, maybe 3. I don't know. Time's flying this summer. What is summer even anymore? Anyway. So, our partnership, relationship with them, whatever, continues to grow. Unfortunately, where one door closes, another door opens. And as far as that is concerned, or what I'm talking about is, like I said, Spot Monkey Radio, I had been on recently. Unfortunately, a few personal issues have caused a couple of it's nothing bad, that is what I'm saying. Work related issues, changing of jobs and that sort of thing. A couple of the guys are not able to get to doing a weekly podcast or bi-weekly podcast wrestling related anymore. So Spot Monkey Radio under the False Finish brand is on hiatus for the time being, but we will be bearing the torch for them in helping to provide podcast and video cast, or whatever the hell you want to call it, content as we usually do, but hopefully now on a more weekly basis. I'm going to try to do at least one show a week like I've been doing, but be more on the ball about that. You know, every other week we'll do weekly buzz unless there's a pay-per-view, you know, a big 4 pay-per-view, or we want to do a special episode. Then we'll try to do 3 or 4 episodes of weekly buzz every month. And then in between them, of course, once a month, we'll continue with doing I Dream of Joshi and R Goes Beyond. But you'll be able to find all of that stuff you know, on our social media, as well as on False Finish Productions social media, because yeah, we'll be representing them now, as I said, on the podcast front until you know, we can bring Spot Monkey Radio back. So if you want to, and you better, make sure to check out all of our social media so you can ride the buzzwaves with us. As I said, we are happy to be a part of the False Finish Productions family. So make sure to check both of us out on Facebook. First at facebook.com/relevant wrestling and at facebook.com/false finish productions. You can subscribe or follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Relevant Wrestling and at False Finish Pro. Subscribe to our YouTube channels, Relevant Wrestling Productions and False Finish Productions. Twitch and Periscope content is under work for our Relevant Wrestling Productions pages on there. We're all over all sorts of podcast platforms, including iTunes. And we'll have our podcast on falsefinish.com. Make sure to check out the Relevant Wrestling BuzzTunes mixtape on Spotify. Check out our relevant reviews on our Facebook group notes page, on the Japanese Puro Ichiban page on WordPress, and on the relevant reviews section on falsefinish.com. And make sure to hit us up for your copy of the most interactive wrestling zine on the planet, The Relevant Rag. Issues 1 and 2 are out now. Issue 3 in the works. And if you like what we do and want to support us nominally, please check out the brand new Relevant Wrestling Pro Shop for all of your buzzworthy wares, and the URL for that I will put in the description. So yeah, you can trade us your money for more high quality zines. We have a zine about Hulk Hogan on there and all his stupid tweets and musings, in collaboration with Twitter glitch artist Hulk Hogan, who's provided us with a bunch of different custom prints. You'll get a custom print with each order of the zine. We have a zine on there about women's wrestling. Yes, the Commonwealth Cup, put on by Nova Pro earlier this year. And allow me to use that as a segue into our topic for episode 14 of False Finish Productions Presents Relevant Wrestling Weekly Buzz. Yeah, that's a lot to say, but you'll get used to it. So our topic for this episode is the Mae Young Classic, you know, because currently the Mae Young Classic is being filmed at Full Sail University in Florida, but this is a non-spoiler show. This is going to be a preview about it. We'll talk a little bit about last year's tournament and this year's tournament, and I got a bunch of you know, related topics and things regarding that. But yeah, I mean, it's been a pretty big year, I would say, for women's wrestling overall. I mean, WWE has this Evolution pay-per-view coming up in October. We saw Women's Royal Rumble, other things, you know, big signings with Ronda Rousey, big match at Mania with Asuka and Charlotte. So yeah, and not only that, but on the independent scene as well. You know, in as far as like I said already, the Commonwealth Cup, the female tournament, the women's tournament, the Beyond Wrestling tournament for tomorrow, women's tournament, Making Towns Classic women's tournament, and even in Japan with the Wave Wrestling Regina de Wave tournament and the or whatever that one is, Princess Wave tournament or whatever, and the Stardom Princess and 5-Star Grand Prix, those Joshi tournaments. I should know those better because I do a show on Joshi, but there's just so many awesome women's tournaments out this year. I still haven't got a chance to watch the Making Towns Classic in its entirety, but I plan to do that. But yeah, so many awesome women wrestlers on the scene this year, really tearing it up, and you know, same as last year, and that's why I think WWE felt the need to showcase that, you know, with the Mae Young Classic. So let's talk a little bit about last year's tournament, the 2017 Mae Young Classic. Let's look at the wiki page right now real quick, and we can see who was in it. I know that the commentary team last year was Lita and Jim Ross, which left some, you know, some people were not too thrilled about the broadcasting skills or of Lita, along with JR. I don't know, JR's fallen off the past couple of years. I know a lot of people give him heat for his performances in New Japan, and I know that he and Lita actually had to re-record the commentary because I don't know, at first they I don't know, it wasn't as good as WWE wanted it to be, so they had to dub over new commentary after they familiarized themselves a little bit more with the competitors. But yeah, last year the participants were Abby Lath, Aisha Raymond, Bianca Belair, Candice LeRae, Dakota Kai, Jazzy Giebert, Kairi Sane, Kavita Devi, Kaylee Ray, Lacey Evans, Marty Bell, Mercedes Martinez, Mia Yim, Miranda Salinas, Nicole Savoy, Piper Niven, Princess Sugit, Rachel Evers, Reina Gonzalez, Renee Michelle, Rhea Ripley, Sage Beckett, Santana Garrett, Sarah Logan, Serena Deeb, Shayna Baszler, Tainara Conti, Tessa Blanchard, Toni Storm, Vanessa Bourne, Xia Li, and Zeta. So those were the women in last year's tournament. And the inaugural tournament took place on July 13th and 14th in 2017, which aired on the WWE Network on, not until, they filmed it in July and it didn't air until August 28th, round 1. And then September 4th, round 2, the quarterfinals and semifinals aired, and the final match aired live on September 12th. 2017, also on the WWE Network. If I remember correctly, it was done like after Smackdown on a Tuesday night. And we know that the finals of last year's tournament and the winner was the finals were Shayna Baszler and Kairi Sane. And we all know that Kairi Sane won, right? I hope that we know that. So, yeah, last year, some of the big names and early favorites off that list I felt were like Jazzy Giebert, Kairi Sane, Mercedes Martinez, Mia Yim, Toni Storm, Tessa Blanchard, Vanessa Bourne, Bianca Belair. Yeah, my favorites, of course, were Toni Tessa and Kyrie. You know, some matches that really stood out or you know, that I liked last year. Jeez, you know, a lot of these matches were short. No match in the first round was over 9 minutes, and most of them were about 4 to 7 minutes. A lot of second round, longest match was 10 minutes. Third round, longest match was 9 minutes. Yeah, geez. Yeah, no match in this tournament was more than 12 and a half minutes, which is cool. I like short matches, but I mean, 4 minutes, like, I mean, isn't that what we're trying to work past? Let's hope that this year's tournament, which is currently probably filming as we are recording this, but as I said, no spoilers, you know, because this shit's not going to air until later this month. So if you guys want to spoil it, you can spoil it for yourselves, but don't spoil it for us, god damn it. So what were some standout matches from last year? Jazzy Giebert versus Abby Lath. We all know Abby Lath. Well, we'll get to that. That was a great match. Kairi Sane versus Tessa Blanchard. That was a great match. Dakota Kai versus Rhea Ripley. I'm pretty ripped right now. No, I'm just kidding. Oh man. Dakota Kai versus Rhea Ripley. That was an awesome one. Piper Niven versus Toni Storm. That gave us a little taste of UK wrestling. And of course, Shayna Baszler versus Mercedes Martinez. And the main event. Or the main event, I'm sorry, the finals. Which I guess is considered the main event. But whatever. The finals, Baszler and Kairi Sane. Kairi Hojo, whatever they're calling her now. Kairi, we love you. Yeah, so Kairi won. I don't really know if that's been so great for her career. You know, she hasn't really had any huge storylines on NXT since then. She's slowly starting to build up. I mean, now finally she has a title shot against Shayna Baszler at SummerSlam weekend at NXT Takeover Brooklyn. So I mean, hey, finally she's getting a title shot, but you know, is she gonna win? She might. So maybe I take that back when I said that her winning the tournament hasn't benefited her so much. Shit. I suppose it took a long time for it to. It was a slow burn, which is good. You know, putting the belt on her right away might not have made too much sense. People had to get used to her and who she was. I mean, I like the Pirate Princess gimmick. I'm down with that. I actually love her music. And Chris and I talk about this all the time, how she's like one of the only characters in WWE right now. And I mean that, like, her music, her gimmick, her move set, it all kind of like, it all goes together, you know. She's a character, but she is very good, you know, good gimmick. Down with Kairi. I don't think they've ruined her. A lot of people think they've ruined Asuka, and you know, I'm down with Kairi, and hopefully she will win against Baszler, you know, next week at SummerSlam. But there's a cool section here on Wikipedia that I wanted to read real quick to you guys, called Aftermath. I don't know who put this in on here, but props to them for that. This is like the aftermath of the tournament. So kind of like a little update about all of the performers. Post 27 Mae Young Classic. Performers on the tournament such as, here we go. Performers on the tournament such as Bianca Belair, Dakota Kai, winner Kairi Sane, even though I wrote Kairi Hojo down because that's her old name. Anyway, Kairi Sane, Lacey Evans, Reina Gonzalez, Rhea Ripley, Sarah Logan, Tainara Conti, Vanessa Bourne, Zia Lee, and Zeta had already signed contracts with the company. That was prior to them being announced for the tournament. Nixon Newell, who also missed the tournament due to injury, had already signed a contract too. So that's not really aftermath. Anyway, on what the fuck? All right, here we go. On March 8th, 2018, WWE officially announced that Abby Lath and Sage Beckett, oh man, that's why we haven't seen Sage, were released from their contracts. As we know, Abby is now working the independents as Princess Kimberly. Once again, that was her gimmick beforehand, Kimberly. I don't know. There were a lot of rumors around why Abby was released, but let's not get into that. I love her now as Kimberly. I think she's been killing it in Beyond Wrestling and all over the indies. So, yeah. On October 3rd, 2017, WWE officially announced that finalist Shayna Baszler has signed a contract with the company and started training at the Performance Center on October 15th, 2017. Well, yeah, we know Baszler is now NXT Women's Champ. On October 15th, 2017, WWE announced that performer Kavita Devi had signed a contract and would be starting at the Performance Center in January 2018. First Indian female wrestler, lady wrestler in WWE. On January 16th, 2018, WWE, actually that's not true. Wasn't that lady who played the ukulele at the Great Khali's or maybe Jinder Mahal's celebration ceremony, the first Indian female in the WWE ring? I don't know. Anyway, on January 16th, 2018, WWE announced that Candice LeRae had signed a contract to the Performance Center and to perform on WWE NXT. On February 8th, 2018, WWE announced that Serena Deeb had been signed by WWE to become a coach at the Performance Center. Oh, that's awesome. Serena working with Sarah Del Rey. Cannot go wrong with that combination. Or Sarah D'Amato, whatever you want me to call her shoot name. Wow, that's awesome. I did not know that that's where Serena was. Cool. On May 31st, 2018, WWE announced that Deonna Purrazzo, the Virtuoso, had been signed to a contract by WWE and will be performing in their developmental territory, NXT. We know that. It's the developmental territory. I don't know why that's there. Fucking Wikipedia, right? On June 2nd, 2018, Zeta, oh, that sucks, was released from her NXT contract. And on July 12th, Rhea Ripley was announced to return to compete in the 2018 Mae Young Classic. So speaking of the that should be our little segue there. Yeah, let's head right into this year's tournament and talk about the 2018 Mae Young Classic. So this year it was filmed or will be filmed on August 8th and 9th. And oh, this is awesome. I appreciate the way that they're going to be doing this. Rather than releasing everything in bulk, they're going to release it a little slower. WWE will air the tournament every Wednesday on the WWE Network immediately after NXT. Oh, that's how they used to do the Cruiserweight tournament, or how they did the Cruiserweight Classic. After NXT, beginning September 5th. The show will be announced by Beth Phoenix, Renee Young, and Michael Cole. Well, I like the first two. I'm not thrilled with Michael Cole being on the commentary, but as long as he doesn't say anything fucking stupid or misogynistic, then I'll be okay with that. There will be one of those bracketology episodes on the WWE Network on August 28th, which is in about 3 weeks from now. And basically, That's just like a show that goes over the first round of the tournament. You know, it's called bracketology. So you'll see the whole tournament bracket laid out, and they'll just go over, you know, each of the first round matches so you can get a little more familiar with the competitors. So make sure you tune into that. I don't know what time that'll be on, but it will be on the WWE Network on August 28th, and then it'll go into their on demand, so you can watch that. You got like a week to watch that before the tournament actually starts airing on the network. There was a Parade of Champions on the WWE YouTube channel, which aired on August 8th, which was basically just a very quick 12 minute little show where they announced that, you know, Cole and Phoenix and Young would be the commentary team, and then they announced or like introduced all of the competitors. You know, same way that they did it last year. Last year I did a live reactions to it because they hadn't announced everyone before hand. This year they did announce everyone, and actually I didn't get home from work on time, so I wouldn't have been able to do it anyway. But yeah, this was a real quick introduction. You know, they show the ring and all the competitors are around the ring, and then whoever is the, you know, announcer, you know, introduces each of the ring announcer introduces each of the competitors, and they come in and do their little pose, and then the crowd cheers for them because I'm pretty sure immediately after that they started filming the tournament, so they were able to air that shit. That Parade of Champions gimmick live on the YouTube network before they started filming. So let's go over the names that are in this year's tournament. Let me pull up the wiki page. Here we go. 2017 and Mae Young Classic 2018. Awesome. So we have participants. I want to make sure I don't read any spoilers on here, spoil anything for myself on the Wikipedia page, so I got to be careful. I might have to take my glasses off and do that gimmick. No. All right, so Ariel Monroe, Allison Kay, who is also known as Sienna. We have Ashley Rain, also known as Madison Rain, Deonna Purrazzo, Hiroyo Matsumoto, Io Shirai. I keep saying her name wrong, but it's Isla Dawn, Jesse Elaban, Ginny, Casey Catanzaro. I'm probably saying that wrong. Caitlin. Oh, hey, Celeste Bonin. Caitlin, former WWE diva Caitlin, is back. Karen Q, Kavita Devi, Killer Kelly, Lacey Lane, MJ Jenkins, Mako Satomura, Mercedes Martinez, Mia Yim, Nicole Matthews, Priscilla Kelly, Rachel. Sorry, that picture that they have here of Priscilla is hysterical. She has her tongue out. Rachel Evers, aka Rachel Ellering, Reina Gonzalez, Rhea Ripley, Tainara Conti, Tegan Knox, formerly Stephanie Newell, formerly Nixon Newell, Tony Storm, Vanessa Craven, Zaya Brookside, Zaya Lee, Zatara, and Zeusis. So those are the competitors for the 2018 Mae Young Classic. Yeah, pretty big list there. Definitely some bigger names than last year overall, I would say. We got returns from Kavita Devi, Rhea Ripley, Tony Storm, Mia Yim, Rachel Evers, Zia Lee, Tainara Conti, Mercedes Martinez, and Reina Gonzalez. So, you know, will one of last year's competitors claim the trophy this year? You know, get a little redemption, or will we see a first timer win the tournament? We got some big international names in there, especially from Japan, with Io Shirai or Shirai. That's how Renee Young pronounced her last name. I kind of liked how Renee Young said that, Io Shirai. Maybe I'll start saying that now just to aggravate the marks. Meiko Satomura and Hiroyo Matsumoto. Some surprises for me anyway was definitely Meiko Satomura. A lot of people consider her one of the top Joshis in the world, along with Io Shirai. Io is signed to developmental deal with NXT, but I'm not really sure about Meiko. She's older and could be considered the veteran of the tournament. I'm not sure about Hiroyo either, if they would offer her a contract, but that would be pretty awesome if they did. Yeah, but some surprises. Like I said, also Priscilla Kelly, Sienna, Madison Rain, Zia Brookside, who is the daughter of Robbie Brookside. She's the youngest competitor in the tournament. I think she's only like 18 or 19, so that's good for her. Favorites to win. Of course, I would like to see like Mia Yim or Priscilla Kelly win, but I think that's a long shot. It's more likely someone like maybe Meiko Satomura or Io Shirai would win. Probably Io. That's my pick, just because I feel like they're going to do the same thing like they did last year and the previous year, even though there wasn't a tournament the previous year, with the big signings of a Japanese or a Joshi wrestler. First with Kana, aka now known as Asuka. Then before that with Kairi Hojo, Kairi Sane, and now I feel like they're going to do the same thing with Io, give her the big rub from winning this tournament. So we'll see how that goes down. The finals will be held on October 28th at the WWE All Women's Pay-Per-View Evolution. That's going to be Nassau Coliseum in Long Island. Let's predict Final Four, the finals and the winner. I have on here Io Shirai versus Mercedes Martinez and Toni Storm versus Rachel Evers. I have no idea how the tournament's laid out. Like I said, we're going to see the spoilers are probably already going to be out there. The tournament's already going to be probably filmed and recorded by the time this episode is out there to you guys. But as I said, the tournament's not going to be aired on the WWE network until September. So if you want to stay spoiler free like we do, then you can do that. If not, you don't have to. So yeah, I think it's gonna be Io versus Mercedes, Toni versus Rachel, and then in the finals it will be Io versus Toni. With Io going over. Even though I think it would be cool for Meiko Satomura to win the whole thing, because she's probably legitimately the best competitor in that tournament, even though there's a lot of great names. I definitely think Meiko winning would be awesome. Give the rub to the veteran. But yeah, I want Io or her to win. I do a show on Joshi, of course. Yeah, I don't know if I have any additional yeah, I do have some additional comments on. I don't really have any additional comments on the overall concept of the thing. I'm very happy with the way it's lined up this year. I think it's gonna fucking rule. As long as they get more than a few minutes per match, like last year. As I said, there was no match over 13 minutes, and I really hope that we get longer matches this year. And we're not stuck in that 3 to 4 minute divas match mentality. I'm not sure who's booking this thing. I hope it's Triple H. I don't know. Last year I heard that Kevin Dunn and Vince had their fingers, involved in this. Whatever. However, I want to say that Kevin Dunn had his finger in the pot on this one, unfortunately. But let's hope that's not the case this year, because it's a great lineup, and I think if booked correctly, that this tournament could really be awesome. I don't know if it's going to be the best women's tournament of the year, but it's definitely going to be a good one and the most commercial one, which is good. I don't mean commercial in a bad way. I just mean that it's going to be the most advertised and promoted one, since it is on WWE Network, even though majority of the competitors are unsigned. Hopefully majority of the competitors will be signed after this tournament. Yeah, that's really all I got to say about it. Looking forward to it. I'm going to try to stay spoiler free. So don't at me, guys. Is that what you say? Yeah, don't do it. I don't want to see the spoilers. I want to enjoy this tournament. I'm going to X out the wiki page here so I don't botch and, screw it up there and see spoilers. Close out my notes there. Yeah, Buzz Humans. Gonna keep this episode nice, short, and brief as we transition, into the new, the new regime here, so to speak. No, not even. Guys, we are happy to be working with False Finish Productions. Happy to be bearing the torch for them as, this the wrestling podcast branch of their network for the time being, until we can get the gang back together, get the band back together, and we will be. God damn it! Don't you fret. Spot Monkey Radio will return. Hopefully we were able to help each other attract listeners, and some of you have heard me on there, and some of you have carried over and become False Finish Productions fans. But yeah, we're one big happy wrestling family right now, even though not all of us are around right now. We are all still working hard on our individual lives and just doing our thing, and that's just how it goes sometimes in this crazy world. But we'll be back with Spot Monkey. Don't fret, like I said. Do not be sad, Buzz Humans. In the meantime, check out all of the relevant wrestling. Check out all of the relevant wrestling content. Like I said, we're gonna be pumping it out for False Finish Productions, making sure to get them a show every week, whether it be Weekly Buzz, I Dream of Joshi, or be it RR Goes Beyond. You will have a show every week on our network and on theirs. So make sure to check out all of our social media so you can ride those buzzwaves with us. On Facebook, check out facebook.com/relevant wrestling and facebook.com/false finish productions. Twitter and Instagram at relevant wrestling and at false finish pro. Subscribe to our YouTube channels, Relevant Rasslin Productions and False Finish Productions. Content under construction and work on Twitch and Periscope, trying to work some ideas out to do more on there. We are all over podcast platforms, including iTunes and Spotify. Make sure to play the Relevant Rasslin BuzzTunes mixtape on Spotify. Check out our relevant reviews on Facebook, our Facebook group notes page, on the Japanese Puro Ichiban page on WordPress, and on falsefinish.com. Hit us up for your copy of the most interactive wrestling zine on the planet, the Wrestling Rag. And I will leave the link to this in the description. Check out the brand new Relevant Rasslin Pro Shop for all of your buzzworthy wrestling related wares, which basically means just all of our original prints. We got a mixtape cassette up on there. Yeah, Relevant Wrestling goes retro. And we've got some cool high quality zines on there. And we are currently working on issue 3 of the Relevant Rag. Issues 1 and 2 are out on the streets. So most of you should already have those. If not, hit me up. Don't have too many copies of those left. And I'm working diligently on putting out a very awesome and double-sized edition of double-sized edition for number 3. Boy, Buzz Humans, that was a lot. Yeah, episode 14 of False Finish presents Relevant Wrestling Weekly Buzz is now over. So I want to thank you all and send a lot of love out to all you Buzz Humans, and of course a lot of irrelevant love and buzz to my RR crew: Tim, Chris, Jake, Dan, Jeremy, Tyler, and the rest. Make sure to check us out next week. I'll be putting 2 episodes out. I'll be putting out an episode of I Dream of Joshi, and hopefully we can get Dan, Chris, and Tim to join us for a special SummerSlam edition or end of summer, what you want to call it, that, because I don't know how much of SummerSlam we're really going to talk about. I don't think the guys are very thrilled for the card. I think it's a decent card. Maybe we'll talk about NXT. It'll be our summer end of summer / SummerSlam episode. Try to get like I said, the Relevant Wrestling crew in effect there. Big shout outs and thanks to, of course, False Finish Productions for allowing us this opportunity to rep for you guys. Thanks and shout outs to our friends. Hey, Spot Monkey Radio, we'll be back. Big shout outs and thanks to our friends Austin and Bob at IcoPod Podcast, Super Kicking It with Kelsey, and Two-Faced Wrestling Podcast with Paul and Kelsey, Heel Marks, Brady and Danielle, Doing the Job Podcast, Mr. HVWA, Tenacious Tyler, the Suck Me Crew, pardon me, the Suck Me Crew. That was funny, right? I coughed when I said that. The Suck Me Crew, everyone who has helped out with and contributed to the Relevant Rag. Like I said, issue 3 is going to be a big one, most contributions ever. Buzz Humans, kayfabe may be dead, but originality and diversity are not. Relevant Rasslin Productions, in association with False Finish Productions. It's always relevant to us. Damn it, this has been episode 14 of Weekly Buzz. Peace.